Clickety click, click click. There we go. Clicking into click click clickety click. I still like this card. Oh, I don't have a rare. It's fine. Bum 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 bum. Bottom. That's a really weird card. Okay, wait. There's an easier way of doing this. Let's just go in here and do it. So, no. Hmm. Mm-mm. There's not. You know, the more I play this set, the less. I do want Songcrafter. Hmm. There's not a lot of cards in the new set that are like really all that amazing. Kind of unfortunate. There's a little bit like there's just less than I thought. I knew there wasn't a lot, but there's surprisingly little. I want this guy to work. Okay, maybe I'm better off trying that. The only mono blue one. How does it work? How does it work? So like it does not have to be a so like this doesn't work, does it? Okay, it's really hard. It's just really hard. Basically stuck to like 1 and 2 mana spells. Wait, why do I have a second? Oh, this thing. So if you copy this, do you get the dragon? Like if you copy this spell, do you get like you just can choose to maybe. Oh man. Okay. So Pact the Negation, you most surely do not want to copy that one. Although I mean, copying it doesn't do anything because you can't counter. You can't. It doesn't really do anything. This is card draw. Can copy like. I guess unsummons are fine. Curiosity is interesting. All 1 mana cards ever are okay here. Maybe even like unsummon. Ceremonious rejection. I mean, it was like Arcane Signet. That's about it though. What about this? So if you copy this, you get a second one in 10 years. That's pretty cool, I think. No, I don't think Piece It Together makes sense. I mean, do we play... actually, maybe it does. It's just a 1 mana setup spell, right? Mox Amber is like the best. What about like Ornithopter? Memnite? Oh man, I guess so. Spell Pierce? Probably Stifle. This gives you a spell, yep. Unsummon? Sure. Well. Okay. Delve cards as well. I don't know about Brawl. I'm surprised this doesn't at least have Flash. Oh, that's just better than the Essence Scatter. Jace. I don't know what Jace is doing. This Jace, maybe. I don't know about this one. I guess it does work, actually. Ledger Shredder. I mean, this is what we're doing anyways, right? Doing that anyways. Remand? Yeah, okay. I like Remand. Double Spreading Seas? Well, the problem is you just don't get the second one till, like, you know, later. Think Twice is maybe... I need more. Well, it's hard to do that. Brain Surge. No. Both of these. What about Temporal Trespass? Yeah, you can do that. I think it works. This probably works too. Definitely want fetch lands if we're gonna do that. Reliquary Tower. I don't know if we'll ever have a overflowing hand though. Probably Ornithopter, which is kind of, I mean, same with Tormod's Crypt, just the 0-mana artifacts. Maybe not Bonesaw. That one seems like Ornithopter. Okay, maybe not that or that. Double Tolarian Terror. It's not that kind of blue deck, so fear not. Finally building a new blue commander. Wasn't that long since I did this. I don't think I've gone too long with doing any one thing that would well, maybe I have. Thirst for Discovery. Possibly Jace. Lorien Revealed is just an island, right? I we have Brainstorm, I guess. No, no, no. Blue's the worst color in Magic? Maybe. Well, we'd be worse without it, so the more the better. Midnight Clock? I don't see. Okay, I want that card. Oh, it discards two. I thought you discarded one with this. I thought you only discarded one. Oh well, that's fine. I don't know if we're gonna ever have the Midnight Clock work, like ever. We could run Mana Rocks and then copy them, but you don't get them for 4 turns. So that just seems so incredibly terrible to try to do that. I don't think this commander I don't think it works, but we're getting somewhere here. Now that would just irritate me the whole time. I can't use that sleeve. Do I think it's the worst new commander? Well, of the ones I've played so far, probably. I haven't played all of them, but this might be one of the worst ones in the set. But it's the only mono blue one, and it does have a unique ability. It's just that its ability isn't 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you cast your second spell, you copy it, and then you exile the spell you cast. So you keep the copy, and the real one is suspended. It would be kind of nice if it was the other way around, honestly. So you could delve in Snapcaster Mage. So really, it has like the worst of the two kind of things, in my opinion. But there's no other way to do it, because you can't really exile a copied spell. It will just vanish. So you have to exile the real one. But unfortunately, that just makes this worse. So in order for this to work, you kind of need to, well, you guessed it, cast 2 spells in any 1 turn. And I think that's probably possible. Delve cards, things that discount themselves. 0 mana spells. You can run Ornithopter, Bonesaw, Tormod's Crypt. I just don't think that makes sense, because if you're casting Ornithopter that doesn't do anything at all, you're copying a different card, whereas you could have just had 2 cards that mattered, right? So if the 0 mana spell that set up your second spell was just a different actual spell, sure, it doesn't cost 0, but at least you're doing something else that actually matters. So I don't really like the 0 mana spells, really, except these 2. So the suspend is 4 on the exiled card, so you get the copied version cast immediately, and then the second one happens 10 years later. This really should not be 4 time counters, in my opinion. As far as I'm aware, you can't proliferate it, so that would just bring the time counters up. I don't think there's anything that removes time counters in Magic Arena, and if there are, it's probably on a terrible card. So I don't, I think Joyra is the other one that suspends spells. It's just that this It's mono blue, and I don't know. I'm not seeing this work ever, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I all right. Yeah, well, yeah, it itself is the second or first spell in a turn. All right, so it pits us against Verschiebungs, Vinowix, which is that thing. All right, well, that's game. Try again. Hmm. Hmm. One that makes a food token. Okay. So. Haha. Yes. Yes. Warden of the Grove. Alright, so there goes any prospect of ever actually attacking my opponent in any meaningful way. So, yep. Alright, we have a second opt in 4 turns. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad today. Alright, so we play this bloop, and then we pass. I just started streaming. Here come the bots. Here come the bots. It's just a 1-3. I don't really want to do anything about that. I'm gonna let that resolve because I don't have a choice. This deck is just like terrible. Alright, so I can do basically nothing about anything at all. Let's play this. This is just terrible. This is just trash. It's hot garbage. Okay. I don't think we'll ever win a game with this. I don't think we're gonna win a game. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, 4 turns is impossible. Honestly, it should have been suspend 2. I don't know why it was suspend 4. It just makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. Maybe suspend 2 was egregious because if you have extra turns, you just go infinite. But suspend 4 is like I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how they got past R&D. Like suspend 4 is ridiculous. Well, maybe we can stifle a fetch land. Oh, well. Oh, okay. Well, now we actually can stifle a fetch land. I'm going to go ahead and swing, because I'm absolutely going to do that, so... Not sure... Well... Okay, that's a little weird. My opponent just didn't crack their fetch land. Well, now we don't have to swing. We can do this... Do that at some point. Okay, well I got a land. Not really the best land, but I think I'm gonna pass again, right? Am I passing? Yeah, we're... maybe not. Oh, everything is so bad. Everything is just so bad. Alright, I'm passing. Alright. Not only did we actually win a game, it involved beating Ketramos, which is pretty cool. Stifle fetchland, Ketramos gets countered, opponent was over it. But I'm not sure... In this matchup specifically, sticking a 2-2 when their entire deck kills it is probably just not ever going to happen. But my hand was decent. You could just have this sit here until I had, like, this in the same turn. I don't know. I don't even know where that's getting me. I don't know what that actually does. I'm not actively winning the game. Like I didn't. My opponent probably could have just not conceded, and then they win in 45 turns because I don't have a way to win the game. So yeah, this is impossible. Alright, take you out. Take out Flow of Knowledge. Probably this thing. Because it costs 4, and that doesn't... Should take this out as well, because it costs 4. It'll basically... If it ever does cost 2, I've probably lost. So, I don't think I can let that be a thing. Can take out... We can run Winter Moon. It's another card that actually shuts down some things somewhat. And I want creatures that are good with text on them in some form. Delver of Secrets can kill my opponent. I don't like Delver showing my spell to my opponent. Not that big of a deal. I don't think we're all in on a Delver strategy. What are the... what do we got? Sailor. Mastermind. Malcolm? Malcolm lets you cast a spell for free but I'm not casting any big spells or anything like that. So this works with... Wait. Copy target spell you control. My voice is gone, man. I'm sorry. Okay, so... You can copy... your... Okay, wait. You cannot change... Well, no, you wouldn't have no reason to. Yeah, Errant works with this commander, but the problem is it costs mana to do its thing. I'm going to take out this dragon. We're not in a position to play weird stuff. Okay. Yeah, Errant is interesting. Still just more mana than I'm going to have on average, though, probably. At least we'll complete our quest. That's pretty cool. Most of the stuff we're actually copying is also not that good, right? Even doing the thing is not leading me into great success here. I don't have a counterspell for that, but I do have this. Does that actually work here? Not really, actually. I don't think so. Alright, this may be better. I will say being on the draw is exceptionally rough here, so... Errant is bad? Why is Errant bad? You copy the spell, right? It does everything we literally want to be doing. Pretty sure that's pretty good. It's exactly what we're trying to do. Alright, so they get rid of my creature. That's alright. Let's just hope they don't do it again. Do I cast my commander here? I can probably afford to cast it once, especially if my opponent goes ahead and doesn't play an artifact because I did that. That's alright. I don't need it alive, so... Alright, well, of course, it's just more artifact-based answers. So my opponent's had just the perfect sequence of stuff so far. No surprise there. Yep. This is 8 mana, so I cannot counter it with my spell. Oh look, opponent's playing Bonesaw. It does discount your commander by 2. So it does make sense, I think. That does technically shut down my opponent's 1 red source. So I guess I will keep it. If they don't have another red source, this does what I want it to do. It has to be a basic red source too. It can't just be another whatchamacallit. Alright, I can't swing past the 2/4 reach. And I can't double Frogify. So let's just do this. And then swing with our creature. Let's do this first. Hold on. Swing. Surprised it didn't block. Maybe would have just blocked the 2/2 and pass. All right. I would have liked a counter spell there, but well. Oh look, they just top decked a red source. Cool. Right off the top. That's always fun. The main downside of this game was them playing artifacts that also dealt with both my creatures. It's kind of just sealed this game in. Yeah, alright. I mean, I can see the writing on the wall. I'm wasting my time at this point. They just had the perfect 2 artifacts. I don't even know how many artifacts actually do that. Is there only 2? The only 2 in the game? Like, no, I think there's... I'm sure there's more than just those 2. Those are the only 2 I'm aware of right now, currently. I need it like any other thing ever. I don't want to run more counter spells, but I can. I think. I'm fairly certain. So I have stuff to do with my commander here. I think I'll keep this and be somewhat aggressive with it. I basically like need to be on the play too, if I'm ever gonna actually do anything. Alright, I will shut that down and then cast this. Fairy Miscreant. Alright, we did it. We did it. Yeah, this I think is a pretty good example of play versus draw. If they had 2 mana and I went to cast this and they countered it, I'd probably just lose the game immediately. But we were on the play, so that didn't happen. that didn't happen, so cool. Opponent conceded at the first trigger. Would you believe it? Copying a cantrip was enough for my Eluge opponent to throw in the towel. Amazing. Truly amazing. I would like... I don't know. Double Mishra's Bauble is funny. Oh yeah. We'll get that other card in 4 turns when it probably doesn't matter anymore. Alright, opponent has like the best 3-mana white card in the game. And I have a Frogify, so that's pretty cool. Suppose I will cast that first? Or do I cast this? I guess I cast this first. Have we? We haven't removed a... We haven't actually cast a suspended card yet. It just hasn't happened. We've suspended cards, we just haven't had a game get to the point where we, yeah, you know, do the thing. Well, I've got nothing. I suppose I will swing. So that only floats 2 mana. I don't think I get the whole room worth of mana, because that's what they cast. Yep. We will play Malcolm, and that is it. I don't have an attack. I suppose I could attack anyways. Maybe my opponent gets scared. I don't know. I doubt it though, yeah. So they can cast their commander. Seal from existence. I'm not really sure if I care about this, so I'm not gonna care about it. It probably takes Malcolm? It takes my commander. I think I would have taken Malcolm there. Very unusual, in my opinion. Alright, we actually got a spell off the thing with stuff. That's pretty cool. Let's see what's coming up here. Another land. Alright, love to see it. And we can play our commander again. Have a counter spell up. Oh, it's a remand too. Alright, nice. They can have haste threats with the drawbridge, so swinging with this is not free. Let's put this here to shut down mana. I don't really care about the drawbridge. And swing. Maybe I should... 5, yeah, I can cast Temporal Trespass. Oh man, we're doing things. It's working. Well, I mean, it's. I don't know if it's working, but. Yeah. All right. So we do this first. All right, they were just done. Cool. Yeah. Look at that. Didn't. What did we do that game? What did we suspend? We suspended a Mishra's Bauble and a... Was it the Piece Together? Yeah, right? So, we got some extra cards. I wasn't exactly bursting at the seams with card advantage. It didn't take much for my opponent to maybe turn this around. I mean, if they top deck, say, Cavernous Souls, things would get harder here. But what we would do now is take an extra turn with this first, here. Take an extra turn, suspend one of them, untap, and go from there. But that still isn't just winning. But we are ahead, death by 1,000 cuts if we get over the finish line with just 4 damage a turn. But I suppose it's possible. Okay. Alright, we did the thing. That felt like a game. Things were happening. How do I make that happen more often? That doesn't even look blue. That looks teal. Or cyan or something. It's kind of weird. Uh, no, you can't run Tamiya, right? No. Brawl players always go for the commander? Yeah, I guess so. I would have went with for Malcolm like 6 ways a Sunday. I don't really see why they. So we can copy like. Mana rocks. See, the problem with copying extra turns is you're not doing anything with those extra turns. If you chain a bunch of extra turns together, you're not doing anything. You're just taking extra turns for the sake of it. They're not doing anything. Unless you had Planeswalkers in play, which I don't see this deck ever pulling off. So I don't think extra turn spamming is what we're doing here. I think more counter spells is cast opt and then something crazy. Yeah, but how? I don't know. And then whatever that crazy spell is has to be so worth it. Because you don't get it for 4 turns. Like it's egregious. It's so egregious. If you put a 6-mana card in here, you're never gonna copy a 6-mana card. It's not happening. It's not happening. Because the spell costs 6, and then the cantrip costs 1, so there's 7, and then you just tapped out so your opponent can do whatever they want on their turn, assuming this is all at sorcery speed. That's impossible. That's impossible. You're not winning games like that. They'd have to be instant, and they have to like discount themselves. If we could discount Thoughtcast with artifact lands, House Meld could just actually just be in the deck. I don't have a problem with that one. The one I'm really thinking about is Discover the Formula, because it's an instant. Brawl discounts spells, but it doesn't discount a large chunk of them. We could get not Jet Medallion, Sapphire Medallion in here. Maybe get rid of Homunculus Horde. Is it Deduce? Yeah, we can get rid of Deduce there. Sapphire Medallion. I would get rid of Think Twice. I think Deduce is probably better than Think Twice. But Think Twice is a spell both times. Deduce is a spell only once. So Jet Medallion. Brawl discounts spells. So does this Jin, right? The second spell costs 1 less. Ha ha. I wonder why they made this card in the same set. Wonder what they were thinking there. So during your opponent's turns, you can discount your spells with this card. The more discounting we have, the less actual spells we're casting. And we need every single spell we can get. So I don't like that. Brawl probably makes sense. It does loot away cards that you might not like. And Brawl's just always good, right? Brawl's just stupid, so. Could easily put that in here, I'm sure. Maybe Phantasmal Image is too specific. And if I try to copy something that's like big and scary, there's a chance I haven't dealt with my opponent's version of it. And having one myself most likely won't get me out of whatever I copied, being a problem. Not copying my own cards. Alright, just run Brawl there. House Meld. What? What is Homunculus Horde? when you draw your second card, create a token that's a copy of this creature. Hmm. Is that Michael Wazowski from Monsters Inc? Looks like that's what that is. Oh wait, no, this thing's got ears. Rip. This costs 4. So we get it in play, and then what? It doesn't work unless we have a way to draw a second card. And I'm not. Oh man, no, because no, is this like Scute Swarm at home? Why does this cost 4? I feel like this would have been fine at 3. Like, how is Fable the Mirror Breaker a 3-drop, but this is a 4-drop? It's weird. When you draw your second card each turn, I can see how it goes crazy, but it just costs 4. No, we can't do this. We can't. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There is no way that works. I can't. I can't see that happening. It would be funny to win a game with that. It'd be like assemble the Legion at home. That's what that is. You got like 6 2/2s in one turn cycle. Look, it wins if your opponent doesn't play the game. I will say that, but usually your opponents do play the game. If it wasn't 4, it's just tapping out for a 4-mana 2/2 with no text on it, and then having it like live is the big deal, and then surviving whatever my opponent does because I spent my entire turn casting that. And I need a way to draw cards. My commander actually does not in any way help me trigger that 2/2. So it's like up to the rest of my deck to do it. My commander doesn't help me. If my commander did it, it makes more sense. But it doesn't help me. Yeah, maybe in I don't know, a different deck, I'm sure. Whatever deck Scute Swarm is in, that one, like Tatyova could do it with fetch lands, and you could fetch on your opponent's turn too to do it again. I need to take out a card. We can take out Miscast, I think. I think that's my least favorite one here. Of all the cards currently in this deck, I would say as such. I kind of want more Frogifies. I think we could take out Fairy Miscreant as well. I know it works with this, but it has to, like... The first 1/1 has to survive for 4 turns. And even if it does, all you did was, like, make a 1/1. I don't know if that's... Like, I think copying Opt is better than copying Fairy Miscreant. Also, the first one you cast actually doesn't do anything. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, the first... Like, when you cast it initially, you actually don't draw your card until 4 turns later, assuming the first one's still alive. That seems kind of egregious. Alright, never mind. Shouldn't be in here. I think another one of these is fine. These are like your best cards. Oh, Stasis Field? Better than this one, probably. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've won some games. Affinity cards could be interesting. Wow, it just pit me against Ragavan. That's disgusting. Ragavan on the play, let me guess? No, not Ragavan on the play. So I have an answer to it, but I don't know if that's going to win. I don't know. Stern Scolding is another one people like to play as well, I'd say. Bloop. Young Pyromancer. Get out of here. Get out of your band. That doesn't do anything. I don't think that does anything. Alright, so it would take a Christmas miracle to win this, but I suppose it is in fact in some way, shape, or form possible to do as such. Probably. So I can copy... That's just stupid though, isn't it? Yeah, that just doesn't do anything. Alright, I'm just passing. I don't think my commander can do anything, so I'm not really sure what I'm trying to accomplish here. I think this is just... I don't know. I feel like we're wasting our time. Play a couple more turns, maybe. Tigum? What? Oh, my commander's name. Yeah, that thing. Alright, well, I have nothing going on, and this dies when I cast it, so... Not really sure what to do here. Whatever. I don't know if they'll ever cast another thing like that, so... I can copy Spell Pierce. Oh wait, no, I don't have to copy Spell Pierce. I can Spell Pierce the 1 minute burn spell. And then just lose to the second burn spell my opponent has. What a joke. Such a joke of a commander. It's like, I literally did nothing impactful. Yeah, whatever. Thanks for letting me play against Ragavan, Wizards. I'm glad you thought that made sense. Yeah. I'm not even bracket 1. I'm like bracket -4. I'm worse than a precon, and it pits me against Ragavan. Like, why? How does that make sense? How does it make sense? Oh, we got a reader. We got a reader. You think it's better in the 99? Oh, yeah? Yeah? You think this is better in the anywhere else zone? Yeah? Please do tell me more. Oh look, it's the best card against me in the entire game. Wow. Do I have to deal with this? Do I deal with it? Actually, hold on. Maybe not. I feel like this isn't doing anything right now, but I'm going to cast it anyways, so... That's what we're doing. Izamaru is a better commander? I think... I mean, the bar isn't very high for that statement, but yeah, sure. Okay. Land pass. Planar Genesis. Well, I got nothing for you. Do I steal my opponent's Delighted Halfling? Does it even make sense? I don't think it makes sense. I think it should be drawing 2. Really? You have nothing? Okay. Not a single enchantment or anything? That seems a little weird to me. Alright. Well, that commander is extremely vulnerable to this kind of thing, and they didn't have an answer to 2 of them. But we did beat the best card in the universe against us, so that's pretty cool. Cavernous Souls would have been also annoying, but yeah, we just didn't have a counterspell-based answer package for the matchup, and I don't even know if we win if my opponent just enchants this anyways. Like, they just make it a 10-10, they make it a 6-6, they do whatever. I'm not really sure I'm beating this, but I guess the text box was just too important for my opponent to just still go ahead and put auras on it. I would just put auras on it and probably swing and see what happens, but alright, cool. We could still very easily lose that. It's not even like my opponent's stealing anything, right? The trigger on my opponent's commander is completely irrelevant. They don't need to do that, like, at all. They don't need it. So again, I don't think that was even really doing anything. Honestly, I don't think my answer actually should have won the game. I think if they just stayed in the game, they'd probably win. Or I would just have to, like, continue the game and try to win later or something. Alright, Harbinger is basically a Mold 6 already. And the rest of the hand's pretty solid, though. Alright, it's another Mold 6, unless Stifle does something weird. I suppose it is possible. Alright, Pota has the best white card against us. That's nice. Play this tapped. I think I would rather see Giver of Runes instead of Esper Sentinel. Alright, well, surely there isn't Swords to Plowshares on top of all of this. Can I beat this? I think I can. Probably. Yeah. No, I've got nothing. This does not seem like a draw-go kind of matchup for my opponent, but I will take it. Do I play Jace? Absolutely. And I will not pay 1. and I will suspend Stasis Field. Wow. Stone Cold Nothing for 4 mana. Mono white is a little crazy. Just a little crazy. Adeline. Alright, it's Adeline again. Excellent. Alright, they're done. I think Esper Sentinel was about to draw 2, maybe even 3 cards this game, and they were still over it. A little nuts to me. I mean, you didn't even let this trigger. Could have easily stayed in this game. They keep having, like, the best cards. And, I mean, we beat it this time, though. The last mono white deck just had, like, the best things in white. But, I mean, we beat it. Esper Sentinel on 1. This is, again, another game. I feel you just concede it early because you don't like counter spells. But if you just stay in the game, I think I'm at a rather large disadvantage. If you were missing a land drop, you didn't even wait for the Esper Sentinel trigger. I'm not sure if that was the case, but let's say it was. This ultimate isn't really that scary. I mean, I don't know. We'll take it. We'll take it. Am I running the OTJ Fibblethip? No. I guess I could. Yeah, tilt as a win condition is apparently, like, we're just brawling people, but we don't have as many counter spells as brawl. Not even close. What is Fibblethip's thingy? Oh, the case Fibblethip? Oh, wait. This one. I actually might like this. It gives you 2... Wait. I like this card a lot. It's so funny. We could run Oracle of the Alpha just so we have some zeros sprinkled in there. But then we have to, like, draw a 0 mana card, and maybe it is that kind of deck. Alright, what does this do? There's so many counter spells on my deck, though. Jace probably makes sense. I don't know about this. Top card of your library has plot equal to its casting cost. There's too many counter spells. Yeah, there's too many. And there's a lot of spells that, like, you can only plot at sorcery speed, too, which is another huge issue. Because basically 70% of my game plan has to be on my opponent's turn. So, no, I'm not. That's the problem with these sorcery speed 3 drops and whatnot. I'm not winning if I'm just tapping out. I'm not winning the game. Like the last 2 games, actually. If I'm just tapping out on my turn, I would have lost instead of won. So there's no window to cast a 3-drop on my turn, pass the turn, and expect to win. Like, that's not going to happen. Consistently, I should say consistently. Speaking of doing that, maybe we should take out Flood Moon. I don't think Flood Moon has done anything yet. It almost did something, but it didn't quite do the thing. Wait, where is it? Yeah, this. I don't know if we want this. It shuts down Cavern of Souls, which is funny. It's not, like, terrible. It really isn't terrible. It's one of those cards that can just outright win, but it isn't that common, especially with mana rocks and non-land-based mana, making it worse. So, like, green decks, which are the ones you would like to hit the most, probably care about this the least. It's kind of ironic. You have all the land types you'd want to deal with. It'd be like shutting down the green decks, but you're not really doing that with this. They could just cast ramp spells pretty easily through this, unless they're like super sweaty in the mana base and don't have a forest in there for some reason. But all it would take is one forest or one mana dork already in play. Yeah, I don't know if the game lets this work. It worked against me a single time, and then it never worked again. I've never seen it work again. Same with Blood Moon. This worked against me one game, and I lost because of it. And then Blood Moon worked for me one game, and I won because of it. And those, so it's been 1-1 for these ever having done anything. Also, more counterspells is fine, right? I think this deck can run 3-mana counterspells, assuming I ran all the ones I want to run that are 1 or 2. I said Stern Scolding is interesting. I think it still is. I'd rather not give my opponent a 2/2 bird. I think that actually is a problem for me. Sometimes a rather significant one. Isn't it called Stern Scolding? Oh, it is, yeah. Creature with power or toughness. See, the best thing this does is let you continue games when you're on the draw. That's like sort of the best this deck, this card is doing. Okay. Of all the things it can counter, I'm satisfied with basically all of them, so. On the draw against Metadorks, though, is where it, like, looks exceptionally terrible, right? Okay. We're trying. We're trying. I must admit it hasn't been completely dysfunctional, so that's a positive. That is a plus. Alright, another Sapphire Medallion game. Cavern of Souls as well. Let's hope it's... So in this instance, I would prefer it to be the slow control kind of thing, like the quote-unquote better version, instead of the heist stealing thing. Just because the heist stealing one comes with a bunch of creatures that are annoying. They're not even really stealing that much that's a big concern, though, assuming it's that one. But I would rather play against the slow control one. The one I usually say is better. Because Mono Blue does, you know, decent into it. So this is a human monk, right? Yep. Alright, there goes my... I have no idea. Medallion? I don't know. Have at it, opponent. Alright, they take the medallion. Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you what to do there. Opponent gets rid of a removal spell. Spicy. Alright, so we're going to name human. We're going to pass the turn. And we're going to play ourselves a 2/1. Opponent plays Valky. I can sort of not care about that in any way, so that's pretty cool. Looks like there's a 1-mana spell still. Or has Valky got that trigger? Yeah, never mind. Valky's got the thing. Okay, so I have to cast him on my opponent's turn. I can... Huh. Medallion actually would have been useful here. Kind of surprising. Yeah, we're not swinging for a while, but that's not really a surprise. And it also looks like the actual Thieving Steel one, so... Not ideal, I must admit. Not ideal. Opponent does not swing. Okay. Hmm. I think I'll keep that on top. Seeking does not get rid of it. Mox Amber. Probably unnecessary. Yeah, I don't want that one. Alright, so I can play this and then play piece it together? Oof. 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't like that. I think I will just run this out and swing with Cutthroat and see what happens. Because I'm in a state where my commander isn't super important, right? What I would like to see is Valky, and then I'm not sure what after. Alright, there goes my graveyard. So no treasure cruise. I will remand basically anything. I think that's fine. Let's not draw a creature, please. Okay, I didn't draw a creature. Huge. Huge! Kill my commander. Come on. Do it. Spend that treasure. Spend the treasure. Do it. Alright, the do. Huge. Get rid of you. Put you there. Alright, we're in a position with cards involved. I should take my advantage when I can, and just double Mishra's Bauble right now. Should just take the advantage when I have it. What are you drawing? What are you drawing over there? Alright, there's a card I'd rather not see, but it is a card my opponent has, so can't really do anything about it. That was a weird time to go AFK. We have one card in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think their other card is a land. Do we get the tilt victory? I'm actually ahead though. I don't think this is just oh no, okay, they just genuinely went AFK. Fair enough. I was about to say, I don't think I'm in like a huge position or something. They just ran that out, sure. Alright, Valky sees the hand, doesn't see any spazazz. And they're done. Alright. We actually just schmeeded the opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They did not play this, which I feel as though they really, really wanted to play this turn. So then they would have 7 mana. And they have 2 7 mana. Oh wait, yeah. 2 7 mana Planeswalkers to start to cast. I can counter the first one. Yeah, I think they really wanted to just go all in on one of these. I don't think I'm ever playing the Relic here. It's just, I really want to do that. Honestly, I might even just discard Valky or something like that, but... They knew about the cantrip, right? It was weird to see the Prismari command there. It made a treasure token, which then they spent. Yeah, I don't know. Strange navigation from the opponent, I think. We got there. Yes, sirree. We're not doing that bad. We're really not. We just haven't suspended anything crazy. That's just so hard. It's just so hard. Brew Alejandro? I don't know. I can't recognize it by name, so I'm going to assume I did not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, we have errata. Or, I mean, errant. We have it. Surely we win now. This is a human too, right? Yeah, I can... Okay, errant, you know what to do. Get us there. Do the thing. Come on, we can get there. We can get there, chat. We can get there. Baral? Oh, it's better than my commander. Oh, but it's not my commander. No, we're doing this. We're doing this. I don't even have like the vision of an early counterspell or something. Yeah, we're just doing this. Oh, my board state looks so bad against Niv Mizzet. It's just so bad. There's so many spells that are bad here. Oh, look, it's one of the spells. Great. My opponent was threatened by my commander, though. I think that might be a good sign. Because it was not doing diddly squat. Which is half the reason I played it, assuming my opponent would kill it. So I lost the right card there. I get to keep my morale. What? That's just a straight up tap land. Alright. My opponent has infinite time. Infinite time. Probably should have played Cavern already. Nah. There's a good chance I don't know. Still put it in play or something. Alright, so we're basically just a Baral deck right now, which is kinda funny. And a braid, yay! Let's get rid of Unable to Scream or Island. Probably get rid of Island. I think I can afford to do that. Well, they can't play Niv Mizzet unless they have Cavernous Souls, right? You also don't really want to play it on turn 7, like ever. That's annoying. Is it annoying enough to deal with? Probably. I would say so. Alright, 4. I can cast Treasure Cruise. Oh, with the burn. different spells, bro. Jeez, let me play the game. Alright, so I can play this and then lose the game if my opponent has anything? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm gonna cycle. No, I'm not. Alright, fight me. I'm playing this. I don't care. Don't care. They found a land. It just comes in tapped. Okay. So sling for 2. 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Winter Moon, my beloved. Winter Moon, my beloved. Can I cast it right now? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, of course not. Silly me. Oh wait, never mind. I got the copy one. Never mind. Opponent made a mistake. They copied the real one, which is not how it works. So this is actually quite significant. It's very significant. Wow. Yep, finally did the thing. Opponent countered the wrong one. Winter Moon has to be your favorite? Well, it looks really good right now. Looks pretty solid right now if I had to give it some words. Opponent counterspelled the wrong one. Big and true. So I can bounce my commander, but then I can't do anything. I'd rather not bounce this token, so I guess I'm just kind of not doing anything, which is pretty bad. No, we can just draw. Just draw a card. Like, that can be my Ring Bearer. And this is an okay card. Wait, let's thin our deck of a land for no reason. And then do it. I don't have the Seek land, right? Yep, no. Just making sure. Yeah. So Confounding Conundrum is... yeah, it draws a card. It's fine, right? Alright, what's the first Ring Bearer thing do? Nothing? Okay. Wow, get rid of EI? Wow. Really? That seems weird. Seems a little weird. Thought my phone went off. Oh, wait. Can't be countered. So... okay. I can let it trigger once? I can wait? Here? I can just wait? Okay, so... bloop. We did it. We did it. So Niv Mizzet goes back to hand, and they're back to basically 4 mana. And I can recast this, but I don't really have to. I probably shouldn't. And I can just cast Curiosity here, and that's probably pretty good. So yeah, I actually forgot this was uncounterable. I kind of forgot about that. But we did it. We beat Niv Mizzet with this thing. Where we've peaked. We've peaked. We beat a rather long game, too, against it, too. It wasn't just, like, immediately. Yeah, they countered the real Winter Moon. And the fake one was the one they were supposed to counter. And that cost them, I would say, rather dearly. So, cool. We take that. Nice. Yep, Winter Moon getting in there. Doing its thing. Oh no, it's Muldrotha. I don't have any graveyard hate. I do, however, have these, so that's cool. Those are pretty cool cards, I think. Oh, there you are. Watery Grave. Opponent. That's not a, Delighted Halfling. Herd Heirloom. Alright. Yeah, we just plop that on there. Alright, we're doing it. Things are happening. I don't know what they look like, but they're there. They're there. Come on, cast Haro. You know you want to. I don't even know what that is. I don't even care. I'm remanding it. Oh, did I want to hit... Did I want to put fly on my card? Did I? Maybe... Nope. I will not counter this again. I will not counter that again. You can have that. Alright, we're doing stuff, chat. We can double unsummon for no reason. So we gotta be careful though, right? Because the other unsummon will show up no matter what I do. I don't want that to be a problem in the future. Let's do that. Alright. We're venturing into the dungeon. And I suppose it will be this one, because that one's probably the best long term. Do I copy this? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's satisfying to do what I'm doing. This is satisfying. It just has to, you know, work. Like, so far we haven't gotten Suspend value, but we've gotten Curious Obsession value, which is the big one. Gitrog monster. No. This is pretty fun when it works. Oh, just drowning in cards here. Looks like we're scrying one. Ooh, no, we can do better than that. We did do better. So, this has haste. I can cast this, and then I can cast... this? Do I have to hold control for this? Alright, we did the thing, chat. We did it. I finally copied a spell with Errant. And there's a good card on top. I'll keep that. Alright. Top it all off with a little sprinkle of Winter Moon. So now they have to get a basic with their thing. My shields are down, which is kind of scary, but not that scary. Not that scary. Opponent did not untap black mana. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what are we doing? What's going on over there? Sure. So this gets basics, right? Opponent wisely sacking a non-basic. Alright, well, Winter Moon had its fun. Again, another card in play that you don't want to... unsummon. Treasure? Yeah. Treasure's pretty useful here. Actually, I'd say. Right on the land, so I've not played a spell yet. I can play Jace Think Twice. Do I copy Think Twice? Probably not, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think I'm copying Think Twice here with my Errant. It's just too much mana. It's not reasonable. I'm not even going to play Baral. Besageing this is weird because it wasn't doing anything. Seems weird to me. It was tapping one land? Yeah, it was just tapping one land. I don't really see the appeal, but opponent did do that. I will absolutely take the land. It's very strange. Yeah, it was only tapping one land. That 3/3, that can... I mean, we're so prepared for that thing to sit there. It's fine. Overlord. I think I will counter that one. That one's a little annoying. Alright. Apparently that's what did them in. I'm surprised of all the things that made my opponent concede it was countering Overlord. That's an interesting one. But yeah, I really don't think they wanted to besage you this. I mean, I get it. I get it. But if you can get rid of Spring Bloom Druid and Madrotha it back, Winter Moon was even less of an issue. But it was only tapping one land. My opponent mathed it out so they had 2 creatures to cast that demanded all of their mana, I guess. It's just I just don't see that as too big of a deal. I could have let that resolve as well. I did not have to counter that. My opponent has a lot of mana. They can cast Madrotha, twice? Probably 3 times by the time they would go for the 3rd one. Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable to let this resolve. give him a land. And then I have all of these. I'm going to unsummon next turn. So we'd finally get our suspend value. And that's the moment when our opponent can seed it, because that's how it works, right? This did stuff. It just didn't... I didn't see any of it because the game ended before that. Errant did copy a spell, so technically it did do something. Because I needed a way to get a copied spell on the stack to use this, so I guess technically it did give me something. So, alright. We beat, we'll draw them. Good old Winter Moon. In Friends. I think I would have won without Winter Moon, but it definitely doesn't feel good to get stuck under it for a while. Uh-oh. Should have quit when we were ahead. It's the rabbits. It is the rabbits on the play. Uh-oh. Think House Meld is a little too slow. Oh, look. It's rabbits. That's fine. It's one of the cards that has text on it. That's also okay. Shoot, both of these are fine. Which one do I play first? Probably this one. Yeah. House melding this is probably somewhat important. Oh, come on. What are you doing? You're not supposed to have that. Oh, we're going right into this. Alright. Do that. And do this. Or do I just do nothing? I think I actually just do nothing here. It looks kind of insane, but I'm gonna just really go ahead and play 2 spells this turn, so... Or, I mean, flash this in. It seems like a big deal. There's a pretty solid chance I can stonewall my opponent here. Obvious combat trick is obvious. Pathing your own commander. Oh, we love it, chat. We love it. So we're going to get rid of one of these. I don't think they're that useful, especially when I house meld their commander, but we'll see. I just want this at 2 power. Just the main thing, really. Do I play that in this? I think I do, right? Yeah. Double Sapphire Medallion, because that will totally matter at some point. Let's get rid of you. And no attack. Mono white ramp, yep. So now it's a case of dodging combat tricks. I can probably get rid of the counter spell too. I mean, they're all basically the same. Yeah, just get rid of them. There's no mana for combat for the opponent here. Okay, can we not have all 3 rabbits, please? That'd be great. Thank you. Opponent does nothing. Interesting. Let's play this and do nothing. So there's a lot of damage, actually. We might be doomed. We might be doomed. We'll see. Well, of course. Opponent has, like, the only thing in the game that matters. What do you do? stupid. Stupid, dumb. I would have been completely fine if I discarded the other counterspell, but I'm a clown, so... I'm an idiot. Whatever. Oh, dumb, 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 dumb. I was fine. Okay, maybe I wasn't fine, but I was not just dead immediately. I discarded the wrong counterspell. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. Really? My opponent sensed the winter moon? They sensed it? More up. Yeah, the second sun card? I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, though. What about these? Not really. I guess this would work if I got to that and it costs 6 mana. Why? Can't recommend 6 mana cards to me. What are you doing? Enchanted? No. I mean, this only works if I have other stuff happening. And no, just no. No. This is like win more, but we're already no. I mean, this actually isn't even win more because we're not even. It draws a second card. I would play this because it draws 2 cards a turn way before I care about the suspend, but I suppose that is an added benefit. But no, I wouldn't. That's not it. Nope, that is not. It's not a real card here. I couldn't tell you how many games we even got to 6 lands. Untaps your lands. Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, it does that. Yeah, you just have to have 6 in play before you cast it in the first place. But I suppose it does do that. I don't know. I'm not. There's like 15 cards I would play way before that one. Not feeling it. Alright, so... Okay. When's the last time Kalia beat me? I'm trying to think what it did. There's not a ton of crazy things it can do. Honestly. There's not like a ton of things. I probably should cast my commander here because I don't think it matters in this matchup. And I'd like my opponent to not play a ramp spell, like Arcane Signet. Okay, or we just have everything, and my opponent doesn't answer it anyways. Sure, sometimes that happens. Alright, so there's haste for the commander. I'm just going to play this and let that be a thing. This is a very, very straightforward and honest Kalia opener. I don't know if it's going to work too well. Alright, opponent missed land drops. I wonder what they did mulligan too, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Kind of tragic. I think we'll play that not now. Alright, I was about to say, I don't think they can miss a land drop twice, but if they did go for something twice, I only had one counterspell, and yeah, I don't know, I mean, they just missed a land drop, but hey, we were prepared, we were ready. If they played, you know, anything but Cavernous Souls, we were prepared, and they would have probably conceded if they did find a land and I cast a counterspell, so I don't think them being mana screwed is, you know, why they lost. That's a cool art. Huh. I don't think I've seen that before. I like that art a lot. It has to attack, right? Yep. So I actually had two answers. I could just simply bounce it. It's not a complete answer, but it's, you know, it's something. Alright. We take those. I like the new Kalia, the one where, like, is it, I think it's a secret lair, where she's like chilling with a dragon in the art or something. I think that's Kalia. I don't know. I think it is, though. I think it's like very new. Scythus? Oh, it's Mike 22. Mike 22. I see this this person a lot. Shoot. They're probably surprised to see me playing this, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not feeling good about this one. I'm not feeling good about it. Feels a little, just a little rough around the edges. We had to put a name to it, you know, if we had to tack a name onto what this is. Alright, I did draw a land. I will do this first, and then swing, so my opponent doesn't block. Although, I guess blocking wouldn't change anything. Yeah, there's not blocking anyways. And then, in order to continue the game, I must do this. So, I did. This has Ward 2, which means I can't really do anything about it. I can tap it down, but that doesn't really do anything. I could just simply cast this to trigger my Ledger Shredder. That seems stupid, though. Let's be real, that just doesn't make sense. Alright. I don't know how I win with this sitting there. Almost can Temporal Trespass plus my commander. I don't know if I should, like, try to even go for that, though. It's probably wrong. Winter Moon? Oh, well, it's pretty useless right now. House Meld. It does work, so I will do it. Okay. Why are we facing Seth? I don't know. So says Hasbro. Let's get rid of Spell Pierce? No, we just get rid of that random card. Yeah. Oh, if I had Madness, I could have actually kept this and maybe done it later, but I think Spell Pierce might actually do something. Maybe. Technically winning this race, but it's super, super spicy and super close. Might want to have to just run this out as a chump blocker. I think that's just what we have to do here. And just swing. It's a 2-turn clock regardless. Brainstorm. Let's see, 5. No, we don't want to cast that. I just want all my mana. Oh, let me beat this. Let me beat this. Oh, let me beat it, please. So I'm kind of hoping they just recast it, because that's not a big deal. They do recast it. Let me get rid of you. And I can just counter it. I could let it resolve, but at this point, I could just counter it too. Yes! Yeah! Oh, we did it. We beat it. We beat it. Oh, get wrecked. Get absolutely schmeated. Oh, it feels good. Winter Moon was... This is all basics. Opponent just had all basics. Oh. Alright. Tier 1. Clearly it was Tier 1. Our assessment was way off. Better than Baral. Yeah, maybe Wizards thinks it's Baral. So they're like, oh no, yeah, let's sit this in Ragavan all day. Surely. But yeah, we got there in the end. We got there in the end. Was it like triple O-ring? Yep. If they weren't gaining life, they actually would have died a turn earlier too. Shroud, and it's interesting they went for Sithis this turn. Instead, they went for it twice. I remanded it instead of like anything else. Like they didn't upkeep crack this for a relevant card, which is really weird. I don't think I value Shroud too highly in this spot, so I would sack this for a relevant enchantment. I don't know what that enchantment is, though. Another O-ring? I did have a counterspell for it, but... yeah. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. How does this deck keep winning? It's because I'm piloting it. I'm just that good. I'm just that good, you know? Beating all the tier 1s, except Ragavan. We didn't beat that one. We shut it down, though. We didn't get hit by Ragavan. We didn't even really need our commander that game, right? Yeah, no, it didn't really do anything. I could probably take out Thirst for Discovery for another counterspell. Maybe not. Could take out Conundrum. We haven't even seen Dig Through Time. I don't think I've had it in my hand a single game. What is the name of that? Anticipate. It's like an anticipate, but if you didn't spend mana on it, or you don't cast it from hand, you put all 3 cards in your hand. What's the name of that? That's better than Thirst. It's good with Snapcaster Mage. I can't remember the name of it though. We could run Snapcaster Mage, I guess. Isn't it something Conundrum? I don't even know how it reads. See the truth. So, See the Truth suspend works, but I don't know what happens with the copy. I don't know what happens with the copy. You don't cast the copy. So I don't think you get it, but the suspend one you do get it. It's definitely better than the other one we just took out, so maybe I could take out one of the unsummons. Terramander also hasn't done anything. It's probably one of the weaker creatures in here. It just hasn't ever done anything. Could probably take that out. I'm sure there's a better card. Are there anything like... Is the only card with suspend on it? Oh man. Glass Spinner is usually annoying for a lot of decks. I don't think As Foretold makes sense. It does work though. I just don't. It's just really slow. It's just slow. What about you? So this works as well. Cast an instant sorcery from hand, rebound. I'm not sure I think you choose if it gets rebounded or suspended. I think you choose, yeah. And you would choose to rebound it. Yeah, you would always choose to rebound it. Okay. It's only instance though, and there's a lot of counter. It doesn't work with. You can't rebound a counter spell. No, it doesn't work. Okay, fine. I'm hesitant about Snapcaster Mage. Is there another aura? I don't think I was running all of them. I wasn't running the investigate one. Or the combat research. Yeah, we can put that in there. That's fine. It is a little sketchy. Especially curiosity, but when they work, you're just like winning really fast, right? Or you're pulling ahead with an engine, but they just have to actually work. Just a bit rough. Wow, it's already been well over 2 hours. Jeez. Bro, it felt like it's only been 90 minutes. Oh, these games. These games. Crazy. This is way more successful than it really felt like it had any business being as well. Huh. I thought I'd need to play it for like 4 hours to get enough wins for a YouTube video, but apparently not. We're close enough to Baral that we don't need it. Alright, it's a colorless deck, and it's on the draw. As we know, that is a substantial disadvantage there. We'll take it all. We'll take everything the game gives us. I'm gonna play this. Agent is maybe better in this exact spot, though. Well, given my hand, it feels like it is. Oh, no mana rock. Uh-oh. Opponent. Uh-oh. Alright, I have no idea what they have. Alright, yeah. I was about to say. It looks like they had a spell that was cast. Maybe it was Koligon's command, or Kozilek's command. Could have been K command there, and you just do it for 0. Because this is a colors deck cycling something. But as you can see, they didn't play a 2-mana mana rock, and the game is basically over because they didn't do that. Probably should have mulliganed for it. If I, yeah, well. Kinda need it. Kinda need your mana rocks as a colors deck, especially on the draw. Cannot afford to do nothing for 2 turns on the draw. Just can't afford to. Probably just a really, really good matchup anyways. Even on the draw and they had the rock. It's probably just, like, super fun. Alright, none of this is ideal, right? Yeah, both of these is not, it's not working. Yeah, it's not working for me. I mean, Seek New Knowledge fixes this hand, though. Huh. No, I'm still gonna mulligan. These can't really do much, and this is 4 lands. Confounding Conundrum works. I don't know if negate's that ideal, though. No Delighted Halfling. That's pretty nice. So hopefully Confounding Conundrum does something good. It is most assuredly a possibility. I will... Yeah, we're playing it immediately, right? Because my opponent's going right into Nadu. So we'll see what happens here. I don't exactly have an answer to Nadu, though. I could have countered it right now. I could have just countered it. I don't know. I might have just been better off doing that. course, we don't hit a land. Why would we? Alright, so it has Ward 1 twice. Got really nothing going on here. Copy my Storm Tamer. And then probably just lose because Nadu is a stupid card. Unless I get phenomenally lucky. Yeah, I probably should have just left up a counterspell. I honestly don't know why I didn't. I think my brain just assumed they were going to play Cavernous Souls, or I thought they had Delighted Halfling because I said Delighted Halfling out loud. Kind of bjorked my own game plan there. What? Okay. That is not what I needed. Opponent's running Flare. I'm just looking for... Actually, I'm not even sure what now. I think it's too large to matter. Yeah. Alright, we just punt it. We just sort of punted the game. I was supposed to cast my counterspell and I didn't, so... I'm dumb. Snooze fest. Probably still lose anyways, but whatever. Confounding Conundrum could have kept them in check. Now we'll just never know. I sort of just abandoned my opportunity to win. I really don't know why I didn't leave up a counterspell. Maybe I just wanted Confounding Conundrum to do something for once. And it did. It did. Quite a bit, actually. But it's Nadu, so nothing matters. But they nerfed it. So surely it's balanced and works. Alright, it's the do you have Sanctum of All? Yes or no, I win or lose deck. Been here a few times. Interesting hand. I haven't actually jaced yet. Pretty interesting. Let's play this as our land. Maybe this shouldn't be in here. I mean, it's probably free enough. You just take out an island or something. It's not taking the place of anything significant. I think I'll play Jace first. I think I'll play that first. Because this can count itself and maybe a more important turn down the road or something. Wow, they didn't use their mana. That's weird. I could have just cast Brainstorm off my commander there. This is 5 or more. Yeah, maybe it would have worked. Opponent did not get a Triome. That is very strange. That's very strange, actually. Not sure what that's about. That's 4. Yep, so just do this. Let's get rid of... probably witness protection. I don't think that matters. I most likely will not fight over a sweeper. I don't really expect a sweeper. Okay, well, I guess there isn't a sweeper. What did Jace loot away? I think Jace did some pretty good stuff. Alright, they don't have Sanctum of All. I will not cast this. I will cast it now because I don't want to miss a land drop. Would be quite ideal. I also probably would not stifle this if I had it. They do get a Triome this time. Yeah, that was weird. Hollowed Fountain's weird. Reliquary Tower. Okay, well they don't have to manually tap this for colorless. They didn't have to do that. It taps for any color. That's weird. That's funny. Manually tapping doesn't... What is this, Harrow? This looks like Harrow, maybe? Which probably makes the manually tapping make more sense. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. I'm going to counter that. What do you got? I mean, they manually tapped when all of their lands tap for any color, so something else must be going on here. Oh, don't know what it is, but we'll see. Okay. Do I just play this? Probably Brainstorm before I play that, right? Just to surveil away a card. Oh, is there a counterspell? Didn't really think about that. Oh, guess not. Alright, Brainstorm. We're going to get rid of Fading Hope, and we're going to draw an island. So, like that. Look at the value, chat. Look at the value. Can't beat it. Can't beat the value. So there was a counterspell. What does this do when it enters? You just get 1/1/1 because this is the only thing? Okay. It's just a 1/1. I don't have an answer to this now, right? Not particularly. I can take an extra turn and copy that. Man, if this just was slightly larger. Alright, so we have 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait. 9, 10, 11. I'm an idiot. I keep miscounting this. I always do that. I always miscount this card. My brain does not like that card. Temporal Trespass. Alright, I can't swing. Wow, really? I mean, I'm only taking one extra turn. It goes right back to you. I can't swing. Right? Is this unblockable, or is there anything weird? No. This is 4 turns away, opponent. You're fine. Like, everything is fine here. Maybe my opponent's hand was just absolutely atrocious, but still. Like, just play it out. I like, just play it out. It's fine. I won't get the extra turn for 10 years. Alright. I mean, it's good when I get to it, but it's so far away. You see, what, 4 additional turns before this happens? And this extra turn here is simply just a redraw. I'm not doing anything else. I can't get around your stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. We did have this. So... Oh, wait a minute. No, it doesn't work. It's only you control. Alright, so it doesn't work. Yeah, no, my opponent was fine. They're just completely fine. Okay. They were also extremely conservative about their mana drain just to defend a commander that didn't do anything. I don't... Yeah, their commander just didn't do anything, right? I don't really get it. I don't get it. Like, you could have mana drained that extra turn if you were using it in that way. They had it on my turn as well and didn't cast it. I really don't think trying to defend your commander was the right thing to do there. So, a weird concession and a weird mana drain. In my opinion, at least. My voice is so shot. My voice is just absolutely shot. I probably couldn't do these crazy, like, 8-hour streams that streamers do. There's just no way. There's absolutely no way I could do that. Against Prime Speaker, we're sort of after just one thing. Excuse me, one thing. Oh, my voice is so gone. Voice is so gone. House Meld is arguably one of those one things. Sort of, kind of, maybe. Alright, no one drop. Shoot. Looks like there's a one drop. We'll have to use our 1-minute counterspell. Psych! Yeah, double combat research is funny. Alright. We're doing stuff, I think. I probably have to house meld this, so we'll see. What does that do? Search all river land, put it on the battlefield. When it attacks, you may return. Okay. Do I frogify this? No, there's no way. They probably block. You probably should block. I don't think the 2-2 Alright, the 2-2 mattered. Interesting. Okay, so I really need to dodge 1 mana nonsense here, I think. Acidic Slime. So there goes my stuff. I mean, I can't swing past you. You might just blow up the medallion. Although the medallion isn't actually doing that much, so maybe just blow up the combat research just so nothing happens. Alright, they do not do that. But like I can't swing regardless. So Frogify is a card. I probably have to play it here. Yeah, this is a problem. Still not blocking. Crazy. How do you not block? Letting me draw is how you lose. I would just block so the blue player doesn't get cards. Like, sacking things is great and all, but, like, still, kind of weird. I'm gonna go ahead and unsummon that. Let's not deal with that card. Again, swinging. Okay. Are we gonna block this time? What are you doing? Alright, so at this point, I should probably house meld it, which feels really bad, but yeah. It is what it is. Opponent has a protection spell, because of course they do. We get the old second combat research, as is tradition. Should I play this? Does it matter? Who knows? You have to block this. You're crazy to not block this. I just can't. I think that's crazy. I think that's insane to not block that. So let's do this. Out of your mind, in my mind. In my mind, you're out of yours. Let's cast extra turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Opponent is out of their bananas. We can just play this, actually. That's fine. Can probably plot anything. Just plot this random equipment. So I can double treasure cruise, but that seems kind of not like a good idea. Alright, do you take 5? I mean, you're this deep already. Bro, I'm drawing so many... I don't know. I get it. Like, you really want to untap with all this, but, like, bruh. Yeah, well, this is what happens when you let me draw the cards. Yep. Yep. I mean, okay. You have to block. You have to block. I'm drawing so many cards. Mono blue, counter spells, bounce spells. Like, you want something to sacrifice with this and untap and all that, but surely there's another creature in your hand. You could just cast it and... I don't know, man. I feel like I'm... Maybe they're losing no matter what, and this is like the best course of winning, but still, like... Like, if I didn't have any of these things in my hand, and I'm drawing them because I'm hitting you, you're just letting me find the answers I need when I'm drawing 5 cards. Or 4 or 6 instead of, you know, no cards. So, just a little crazy to me. Just a little crazy there. And, yeah, we got there. Alright. We got there. We also drew Stifle. Stifle was going to be a big deal as well. Stifle would have been a very big deal for them as well. Alright, I think I'm done, actually. I mean, I could get one more win, but knowing me, it'll probably take 2 hours. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably get it pretty quickly, but... I'm satisfied. I am satisfied. Actually, very satisfied. So, this was way better than I thought it was going to be. Like, way better. Is that because the suspend 4 thing was good? I wouldn't exactly say that. I think the Baral half of the deck is how this thing won quite a bit. More than the let me cast my second opt 4 turns later. Or 4 turns from now. Or let me cast my divination in 4 turns or something. that side of the deck didn't really do that much. But if a game does go long, those cards can come up. People seem to concede to the counterspell spam stuff more so than other strategies. So this kind of strategy is pretty good at just winning without displaying a win condition. Or like a seriously, impactful, I need to deal with this right now or I'm doomed level win condition. So I really got to sort of get away with not having a lot of ways to close the game out with like damage or something. That is to say, I'm in a fair amount of the games I did win, I probably would have won the game if it had gone on to a longer, gone on to its conclusion and they didn't concede. But there were some games I wasn't showing them any real way to win. Copying ops, divinations, and frogifies doesn't win the game. You do need a way to actually kill your opponent. When this died, it didn't feel too bad, though, so that is an upside. My commander was not that necessary in a fair amount of games. The frogifies and whatnot are extremely powerful. They're actually, some of them are, for this format specifically, are just like better than their black equivalent of spot removal, because when you frogify a commander, it's stuck in play. Whereas if you killed it with Doomblade, they can do it again. So there is a pretty substantial upside to having the frogifies, especially in blue. Like those, having access to so many of that effect at this point, because they've printed so many in the past like 2.5 years, has been very, very useful. I gotta say, all of these are just so useful. The Temporal Trespass was also very good. I would say that. I never got to cast the Suspend side of it. Not really a surprise, but you could say some people concede the turn before I'm about to suspend the first card of the game. So like the first spell I had suspended is about to show up when I untap. And then people concede then. So you could say my opponent sees the value coming up and then they concede because I'm just about to turn the corner, do the thing you do in blue decks. It would, just card advantage. But I'm just sort of drawing into more counter spells and stuff, and not exactly a giant scary threat that will actually bludgeon my opponent to death. So there are some annoying circumstances where you can't close the game out, really. Baral doesn't really have this issue, as I'm sure plenty of people know, playing Baral, especially, in bracket. Is it 5 is the big one and 1 is the low? Yeah, so bracket 5. Baral is like all counter spells, and I think Baral does play combat research and the other 5 of these things. The 1 mana aura curiosity effects. I think it does. I don't see why it wouldn't. We had some of the other creatures that I think Baral would play, like Ledger Shredder, Malcolm, and stuff. Jace didn't get to do anything, or Vryn's Prodigy, I should say, didn't get to do anything. Remember when this was like $150 dollars? I remember. When this was in Standard, or was it even just Modern? This was like $150. It was insanely expensive, and like all the decks ran like 3 or 4, so... Oh man, it was like one of the most expensive cards I can remember, just in competitive play. And here it is, not really doing anything. I think with the Delve cards and whatnot, it could be hard to fill my graveyard, especially when there's not a lot of quote-unquote bad cards to like, oh, I want to get rid of this. I don't think it's ever wrong to still loot. If you have the perfect hand, one would argue you still draw discard with Smuggler's Copter in Jace. You should probably just still do it. But, yeah, it never flipped. It just never flipped. I don't know. Is this better than Snapcaster Mage? Because I wasn't running Snapcaster Mage. Again, I don't really know. We did end up putting in, I had parsed out that, what's it called? No, not Seek New Knowledge. See the Truth does get all 3 cards, like when you cast it with Snapcaster Mage, or like flash it back from the graveyard or whatever, you get to keep all the cards. When you suspend it, you also get to keep all the cards. However, the copy, I don't believe, like the copy one that you get when you cast it as your second spell with your commander, I don't think gives you all the cards, because you don't cast copies with this. It just copies it. Some copy effects specifically say cast the copy. This does not, so I don't think it works. I never got to try it, but because we are running that card, and because we're this deck, you could just put Snapcaster Mage and whatever the other one is, the Surveil one. Mission Briefing, you could probably just put these in here. They also technically count for your commander's trigger, right? So the Snapcaster is the first spell, and then the second spell is the spell you copied, or, flashback. However, usually Snapcaster is an instant copying a counterspell, so you're not really... You can't suspend counterspells. That's like the giant difference between this and Brawl. You can't get away with getting any sort of value when you do that. You could play modal counterspells, so counterspells that have a different effect on them, like... there's really none that I like. I think the only one that comes to mind really is the 3-mana one, and Supreme Will. So it's a counterspell, and then later it's not. Yay! I don't know, not super necessary. The more mana investment of your copy spam thing, the harder it is to do it. So if you're going beyond 2 mana for your spells, good luck copying whatever you're casting, right? It's really hard to do that, especially when you can't copy counterspells, and you also would like to leave up counterspells almost all the time because you're mono blue and you need to survive. So I don't know, it's hard to get away with more expensive cards. And on the bright side, that means your deck is pretty functional when it comes to actually casting your spells, because it's extremely cheap. In fact, I probably could have shaved 2 lands. Probably. I think that would have been fine. The fetch lands were just in here for the Delve cards, obviously. Winter Moon is alright. I took out the blue Blood Moon, the Flood Moon Merfolk. It just doesn't feel as good as Winter Moon. It doesn't really hose the best things you'd want to hose, which are like green decks. They seem to care the least, which are the ones you want to hit the hardest, the most. So it doesn't really work, ironically. What was another card? Oh yeah, Errant. I don't know if I talked about this in the intro, but this lets you copy the copy that this makes. Again, heavy mana investment. So you're spending 2 extra mana to do that. I think there was one time I just couldn't do it. I'm like, oh, I have it in play. I just can't do it because I don't have the mana to leave up. I can't do it. But if you can get a copy of your copy for free. Well, not for free, but like you don't have to really go out of your way to do that, right? Your commander just does it for you. So this is, if ever this was going to be somewhere decent, this is probably it. I'm envisioning another version of this with a ton of mana rocks, and those mana rocks actually needing to come into play is the big issue. But if you do copy mana rocks and stuff, you can like cast big spells later, but that later is so far ahead in the future, I don't think it's viable. If I just ran a bunch of mana rocks and some other random nonsense, I don't even know what, and then some expensive spells for this to copy, I would have to get the mana to copy them. So let's say that involved copying mana rocks. And then I would have to cast the big spell, would have to copy the big spell, or ideally copy the big spell, which means I have to have another spell to copy it with, so a spell before the big one on the same turn, right? All of this probably doesn't involve leaving up counter spells anymore. And then the big spell goes into suspend, and now I have to wait 4 more turns for the second version of that big spell. That is completely insane, right? Like, that alone, even in isolation, is like 8 turns. It's ridiculous. So, the best you're going to do with big spells, in my opinion, because you're mono blue, is extra turns. So, the 5-mana ones are still really rough, but they're not as bad because you're taking an extra turn when you actually cast it, so you're not, like, passing the turn being tapped out. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me with that is I'm not doing that much with the extra turns. Like, I might swing for 2 or 3 and draw a card if I have Curiosity or one of the, Curious Obsession. Assuming I can actually hit my opponent at this stage of the game. And I might draw a card. I'll take an extra turn way later, after this initial extra turn, which is nice. But again, it's not that amazing to do that. It feels good, and people seem to just want to concede to it, but it isn't destroying your opponent, right? It's like the weakest way to take multiple extra turns. The suspend 4 is egregious to me. It's so egregious. Suspend 2 is probably too good because then extra turns become insane. But I think this should have been suspend 3, and I am blown away that it is not suspend 3. I don't understand what they were scared of, that they put this to 4. Maybe it's just a powerhouse in, like, Modern, where you're like, haha, let me... I don't even know. I'd say it goes well with discard, but not really, because you cast the discard so late in the game after you cast this, and you like your discard on turn 1. Talking in the context of Modern, at least. The value there is just slow as well, right? Like, oh, I'll get my second Terminate on turn 6 or 7. You better have a creature for my Terminate, or it will fizzle. So you have to, like, really... It really is just cantrips. Those are, like, the biggest things I can think of in extra turns, but, again, the extra turns is so out there. So, it did way better than I thought it could. Way better. I mean, we went 14-7, I think. 14 and maybe 8. I didn't keep track of the losses, but I definitely went positive. It was surprisingly successful. I beat some tier 1 strategies, too. It was Sithis was sprinkled in there. Ragavan was a complete trampling. I mean, it might as well not even play. I shut down Ragavan and still just got totally trampled. So that I'm surprised it even pit me against that stuff, but they don't seem to know what to do with the new commanders until a little bit later. And I mean, they wouldn't know if you're good or bad against them if you never get the chance to play against them. It's just annoying when you know it's not as good as them, and they're like, "Oh, let's see how it does against everything before we put it somewhere." It's not Baral. It isn't Baral. It just, hey, I beat Sithis, so what can you say? So I guess I can recommend this if this is your kind of thing and you don't want to play Baral, and you also don't want to play that other one that Start Your Engines one, the Homunculus. I think it's a Homunculus. That one is probably better than this too, and all 3 of these 2-mana mono blue commanders are notably different. So I'll give it that. It is a very unique effect. I like it. It reminds me of, I think it's Joyra does something similar. The red-green chick from one of the older versions of her, not one of the newer ones, does something like this. So yeah, it's cool. Satisfying wins. A lot of tilt concedes. And yeah, unique strategy. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Alright, chat. We are out. We are out of gas. Of all the commanders for me to play for 3 hours, I didn't think it would be this one. It's kind of nuts. But I was actually having a good time with it, so... Yeah, alright. See you guys.